What are the historical critiques of psychiatry and how have they influenced the anti-psychiatry movement? The historical critiques of psychiatry have significantly influenced the anti-psychiatry movement. These critiques date back to the 19th century and include objections to the medicalization of madness, concerns about the ease of confinement and reports of abuse in asylums, and the undermining of personhood through medicalizing problems. The alleged lunatics Friend Society in England and the efforts of individuals like Elizabeth Packard in the United States challenged the system and campaigned for rights and reforms. These critiques continued into the 20th century, with the rise of asylums driven by industrialization and capitalism, leading to the development of the anti-psychiatry movement. The movement was further influenced by influential figures such as Thomas Szasz, R.D. Laing, and Michel Foucault, who challenged the fundamental claims and practices of mainstream psychiatry. Their writings and activism emphasized the hegemony of medical model psychiatry, its spurious sources of authority, and its more oppressive practices, such as involuntary hospitalization, drugging, and electroshock. Additionally, the movement was influenced by the rise of asylums, the increasing links between psychiatry and pharmaceutical companies, and the merging with human rights and disability rights movements. Overall, the historical critiques of psychiatry have played a crucial role in shaping the anti-psychiatry movement, leading to a vocal challenge of mainstream psychiatry and the development of alternative perspectives on mental health treatment and care. How has the collaboration between psychiatry and government led to the concept of the therapeutic state? The collaboration between psychiatry and government has led to the concept of the therapeutic state as coined by Thomas Szasz in 1963. According to Szasz, the therapeutic state is a system in which disapproved actions, thoughts, and emotions are repressed or cured through pseudo-medical interventions. This collaboration has resulted in the medicalization of various behaviors and social issues, such as suicide, unconventional religious beliefs, racial bigotry, and other forms of nonconformity, which are considered symptoms or illnesses that need to be cured. The therapeutic state is characterized by the use of psychiatry as a tool for social control, with the state and psychiatric institutions exerting authority over individuals' thoughts and emotions. This collaboration has led to the expansion of psychiatric controls and the use of medical metaphors in modern democracies, raising concerns about the repressive nature of the therapeutic state and its impact on individual rights and freedoms. Overall, the collaboration between psychiatry and government has given rise to the concept of the therapeutic state. Where psychiatric pseudo-medical interventions are used as a means of social control and regulation of individual behavior, thoughts and emotions, deemed as disapproved, which are repressed. What concerns have been raised about the political abuse of psychiatry, particularly in the context of the suppression of individual rights by states? The concerns raised about the political abuse of psychiatry revolve around the suppression of individual rights by states through the expansion of mental disease definitions to include political disobedience. Psychiatrists have been involved in the suppression of individual rights, with the diagnosis of mental disease being used as a proxy for designating social dissidents. This allows the state to hold individuals against their will and insist upon therapies that work in favor of ideological conformity and the broader interests of society. Additionally, historical instances of political abuse of psychiatry, such as in the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany, have raised concerns about the misuse of psychiatric diagnoses and the political power built into the social role of psychiatrists in democratic and totalitarian societies alike. The abuse of psychiatry has been linked to political incarceration without standard legal procedures, leading to the violation of individual rights and the potential for catastrophic consequences for civilization. These concerns highlight the ethical and human rights implications of the political abuse of psychiatry and its impact on individual autonomy and freedom. What are the criticisms and concerns regarding the use of involuntary hospitalization and involuntary treatment in psychiatry? The criticisms and concerns regarding the use of involuntary hospitalization and involuntary treatment in psychiatry are multifaceted. Critics argue that involuntary commitment and treatment represent a violation of fundamental principles of free and open societies. They contend that the use of legally sanctioned force and involuntary commitment is a coercive instrument of oppression, reflecting an unequal power relationship between doctors, therapists, and patients. This process is seen as a highly subjective diagnostic process, leading to the imposition of psychiatric treatment against the patient's will. Additionally, critics argue that involuntary hospitalization involves an indefinite duration of confinement, which creates fundamental uncertainty and risks aggravating mental instability, leading to hopelessness and acceptance that precludes recovery. The political philosopher John Stuart Mill and others have argued that society has no right to use coercion to subdue an individual as long as they do not harm others. Furthermore, the movement emphasizes the need for alternatives to involuntary hospitalization, such as the development of non-medical crisis care in the community, and the establishment of alternative models of care, such as the Soteria Project, which provides residential support for individuals experiencing psychiatric symptoms or extreme states. These criticisms and concerns highlight the ethical and human rights implications of involuntary hospitalization and treatment in psychiatry.